Welcome, everybody. I don't even know what episode is this, VP?
32.
32. Okay, we here, episode 32. I hope everyone had a good cookout. I hope everybody ate some hot dogs and everything like that. Post July 4th celebrations. We have our 2K event coming up. So the Renee Montgomery Foundation, we want to incorporate tech into a lot of the stuff we do, but we also like it to be fun. So what do? We threw an NBA 2K tournament. We're really excited about it. It comes out July 10th, which is this week, which is why I'm mentioning it. We had some celebrity guest play. We'll get into that later, but it's exciting and it was fun. And we here. And so now the Two Lit crew, the Two Lit crew, Snook, Cole, VP, we're going to do a little something different because every time in the welcome now, we are going to try to guess how many our remote game show guests will get right in the game. So there's 5 questions total. Most people have been getting about a 3 out of 5. So we're going to go around the horn and see what do you think our guests will get. Let's start with you, Cole. What's your guess?
I think she'll probably get 4.
Okay, 4. Okay, Snooka-booka.
I'm going to say 3.
Okay, 3. VP, what you got?
All right, so I was going to say 4, but now Cole said 4. So I can't say 5 because most of the people I don't think are going to get the Remotely Renee question right. So,
y'all got to watch the show more.
So I'll just go 2 just to be different.
Okay, so we got 2, 3, 4. So right now I'm calling infamous Casey. I'm in Seattle, so I'm calling a Seattle.
Oh, hello.
Well, hello there. Is this the infamous? Is
the wrong number?
Is this the infamous Casey?
No, do you have the wrong number?
I do not have the wrong number. You're live right now, Casey, on Remotely Renee. We have a segment we like to call Remote Game Show where I ask you 5 questions. You get a minute and a half to answer. Would you like to play a game?
Are you being funny or is this really serious?
This is really serious. You're on right now with the Two Lit crew. They're all here right now. They can hear you. You got a minute and a half. You trying to play? What's up?
Okay, yeah, but I'm scared.
Don't be scared. You have a minute and a half. VP, you got the clock ready. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. If you don't know the question, you can say skip. I'll come back to it. If you do know the question and you get it right, you'll hear a little ding ding, but you won't really, but you'll hear a little ding ding. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Question number 1. Start the clock. What is the name of the largest desert in the world?
I have no idea.
Skip.
Yes.
What's the name of the largest bone in the human body?
I don't know. The spine?
How many planets are in the solar system?
Oh, I know this.
Yes, you do.
No, I do. Damn.
Just think about it. You got a little time. Stop. Think about it.
Oh my God.
How many planets are in the solar system?
Okay, wait. Mars. I'm counting.
Count them out. 40 seconds. Plenty of time. Mars, Jupiter. I hear you can count them out loud.
8.
Wow, yes. Ding, ding, ding. Originally, Amazon only sold what kind of product?
What did you say?
Originally, Amazon only sold what kind of product? 15 seconds.
Books? I don't know.
Yes. What is the name of Renee's foundation? And they wrote it in the 3rd person.
Wait, say that again?
What is the name of my foundation?
The Renee Montgomery Foundation?
Yes. What is the name of the largest desert in the world? That's your time right there. How many did she get, Cole? She got 3. Okay,
she got 3.
All right.
Okay, no, honestly, what is the largest bone in the body?
It is the femur. The largest desert in the world is the Sahara Desert.
I feel like I knew that.
Yeah, you definitely knew that. That's what, but when you're in a game show, the stuff that you actually know, yeah, it gets to you. And I would like you to know that there is no prize for this game, but you win absolutely nothing. But thank you for joining us on the remote game show, Casey.
I hate you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, this is awesome. I love it here. I love it here. Who gets 3? Who got 3?
Snook got it right.
Okay, Snooka Booker, I see you with the 3 count. I love it here. Okay. All right. So it's starting to seem like everybody I call is going to tell me they hate me after they play remote game show, and I love it. Oh, let's answer your phones because I might be calling you next for remote game show, my friends. Okay. And VP, what we got today? What it's looking like?
All right, probably the hottest topic in sports, name, image, and likeness. So right before July 1st happened, all of a sudden there was only supposed to be a few states that were going to, let the kids make money off themselves. And now all of a sudden NCAA, right before now everyone could do it. And now everyone's doing it. And social media.
Now everyone. So name, image, and likeness. We spoke about this a little bit before on this show, but name, image, and likeness means that if someone uses your name, uses your image, or uses your likeness, you need to make some money off of that. In the history of forever, college sports has not paid athletes for their name, image, and likeness. So student athletes, college athletes, you might be rocking a UConn jersey that has number 20 on it, and everybody knows that's my jersey, but we don't get no money from that. We don't get no monies. So now the college players are receiving money. And boy, when Paul said it is a hot topic, it came out the gates. July 1st is when name, image, and likeness was allowed. And on July 1st, we saw some deals coming through. VP, name a couple.
Yeah, so Miami quarterback signed a $20,000 deal with a moving company, so that's kind of funny. So it could be like anything. That's why I don't think people realize it. People always think about the big brands, but it could be like anything like local. I saw another one in Nebraska. Nebraska was doing a lot. Nebraska, like a local chain, was like kind of offering any Nebraska athlete like from there or like that they play there, like some kind of deal, like they would offer them whatever amount. And then another one, I don't know. There's these twins girls. I never even heard of them. And they play basketball and they have a TikTok. I forgot how many. I think they're like 600,000. And they were on.
That's it right there.
They were on time.
That's it right there.
I'm telling you. Signed with Boost Mobile. So that was interesting.
Oh, so see, people making real deals. That's the thing, though. There was no better time for name, image, and likeness to be allowed for college athletes than this social media era. And what I mean by that is now there's the value. You said it. You don't know those players necessarily for basketball, but you do know that they got about 600K on TikTok. Now there's concerns. There's different points. I was talking to Coach Ariema earlier today, and I was saying how, what is his thoughts on name, image, and likeness? And he went on to say, he thinks that everyone thinks that all players are going to be making a lot of money, and it's really going to be a handful of players that make this money. And then there's also going to be the thing of the team aspect. So I want to hear our thoughts. Like, how do we feel? What are going to be the causes and effects of name, image, and likeness, the pros and cons? Sound off. Let's go. I want to hear it.
Well, I think that basically what's going to be the incentive to actually play women's basketball? I mean, the WNBA, hopefully, they start paying more, because if you're making that much money TikToking in your college dorm, what's going to make you want to go into the draft and make less money? Now, you could continue your TikTok and you could continue all these things, but it's going to take the incentive to go on and continue to play basketball. That's what I feel like. I mean, it's sad to say I'm happy they're paying them at one point. Then I'm sad to say this is what's going to happen. $20,000 for moving?
Wow, $20,000, like a moving company, a moving company. Like it's a lot because and then too, this is the problem too. When you get a college student that much money, I don't know what they're going to do with it. It's scary. It's scary to think of what could happen. I feel like the most lit parties are going to be happening on campus. I mean, parties just went up a level. When you got money to throw elaborate parties, I feel like, wow, like influencer houses are going to be built all around campus.
Well, let me just say this. With the NCAA rules that they've had, I've been through it, and there were so many restrictions, even for before this name, image, and likeness stuff. Is like if a company in your area, your hometown, wanted to give you a scholarship, like you had to count that against your financial aid. You weren't able to benefit from it. I mean, they had so many restrictions on things that could possibly help athletes, especially those who actually needed some pocket money, whose parents couldn't give them any when they went to college. Now, back to this name, image, and likeness thing. And Nikki, for your point, if you don't play women's basketball, all of that money will probably dry up because, I mean, the only reason they want you is because you're on a stage somewhere where they can make money off of you. So if you don't go and play after college, then I don't see where that money is going to follow you past that anyway. But my other point is that I think it's a way of kind of helping to bust up team chemistry. There's a lot of jealousy that goes on with teams or whatever, not even with any money involved, about playtime. The coach likes me more. Maybe some entity does a little bit more for you than they do for you as a player. And so if players are getting money and some are getting more than others and some are getting none, I can see it kind of causing some attitude problems. And you know how that into playing sports. So that's my take.
No, you know what, Snook? You know what? Coach Ariema, he kind of hit on that everyone thinks that a lot of players are going to be getting a lot of money. There's going to be tiers of players. There's going to be your superstar players that draw the big checks. Then there's also going to be your big, like, let's say TikTok stars, like VP said, where if you have a large following, you're going to draw that huge check as well. And then there's going to be the players that necessarily aren't in that tier that you might make a couple $100 here or there. But if you see your teammate is getting a bag, to Snook's point, what is that going to do to the team chemistry? What is that going to do to what's going on? So it's a very interesting concept. I mean, I saw where Open Doors had posted that if any athlete, and when I say any athlete, here's the tweet that Open Doors tweeted tomorrow. So they tweeted this the day before July 1st. Tomorrow, regardless of sport or rank, every student athlete using Open Doors will receive a deal from GoPuff. So do you see what companies are starting to do now? Like, imagine if and this is the thing, they didn't say how much every athlete was going to make. So GoPuff could say, hey, we're paying every athlete $10 a month to post about us or to try our products. And that's how they can, I mean, there's so much that's going to be happening. It's kind of crazy. And I don't know who's going to keep track of it, but
Yeah.
Well, I'll add too, real quick. As I said before, the NCAA has some really tough rules about how money could come into players. I want to know, have they changed those rules? Because, if they're going to just open the flood doors and floodgates and let everybody in and let all this money come in, are they changing their basic rules about what a college or a student athlete can get from outside of their financial aid and the school's money?
No, it's all changed, Snook. It's nothing is ever the same at this point. It means that if you're getting whatever you're getting, I think that your money is supposed to be your money. Now, that's very technical. And see, my Snook was a college counselor. She knows all the ins and outs of the system. So she's basically saying, like, if you got a student that was on financial aid, is that what you're saying? Like, if they were receiving a Pell Grant or on financial aid, and all of a sudden they starting to get some stacks from name, image, and likeness from sponsors, is now their financial aid going to be gone? That shocked to me. Or what are you saying?
Are the rules? There were rules about outside monies, not name, image, and likeness. For instance, if AT&T had a scholar in their area and they wanted to give them $1,000, they weren't able to get that $1,000 without that money coming from their financial aid package. So this name, image, and likeness is totally different from that. But I'm just saying, has the NCAA lifted all of those restrictions? Because you can't even do part-time work unless it's approved, and and all of that. So a lot there.
I think they opened up the floodgates. I think they opened up the floodgates.
Yeah, I'm assuming they could get jobs now too, like the lesser players that are like walk-ons or whatever, D1s, or I'm assuming they could get jobs. Like, why not now? I guess. I mean, but the other positive thing for the women's sports, not non-basketball, like the ones that aren't really popular in pros, like those girls can make money off when they're actually popular, because after they get out of college, they're usually not.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say.
Or they're only Olympics every 4 years,
Exactly. And think about this. Imagine like players like a Tyler Hansbrough. Remember, he was like really big time UNC player. got drafted. Everybody thought that he was going to have like this huge career. And he actually played in the NBA for a long time. But while he was in college, he was the man. Like some of these people in college, they're like famous college players that could leave college set up for life. They could leave college even. You got to think too, there's only a small percentage of players that end up going pro. Like it's not like we already know it trickles down, it funnels out into a very small percentage. So imagine if the other players that don't go pro are able to end up now making some money when their college career is over. Maybe they have a jump start on just financially. I mean, there's so many different things. I'm so curious to see what these deals are going to look like. We already know. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Master P already said his son is going to be the highest paid college athlete out here. His son is a high school student now going into college. He said it's a multi-million-dollar deal that he's paying his son so that his son can be the top paid athlete. And obviously he has a company, so you can do that through a company, but it's going to get wild. Like this is going to get crazy.
Oh, but guess, you know who's going to be the next the one? It's going to be Peyton Manning and Eli Manning's nephew. He's coming to college.
Oh
in 2 years. He's already like the
and
number
I mean,
one.
and think about brands that want to get close to a celebrity that's their nephew, their niece, their daughter is playing, and the brand wants to get close to them. I mean, what are they gonna do? They're gonna throw some change at it.
Well,
Yeah,
let
so I'm
me
not
just
sure if there's
say this.
a rule yet for it, but apparently they're saying like once you sign is once you, that now you can make the money too. So like you could be like a junior in high school, I believe. So I don't know. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, let me just deflate everybody's balloon in this. Okay. If you have a social security number and you make more than $10,000 a year, Uncle Sam is coming for you. So regardless of how we think this is going to work out, next year when you apply for your financial aid and you made more than $10,000 a year before, then you're going to have to pay taxes on that money, and it's going to go against everything anyway. So go ahead and make your money if you want to, but just know Uncle Sam, even though they're now lifting the restrictions and you can make as much money as you want, Uncle Sam can take as much as he wants to. There you go.
That's a life lesson right there. That's a life lesson.
That's very true. It's going to come back and hit the financial aid regardless, because go ahead, make $20,000 this month on one deal, make another $30,000 for a month in that deal. It all adds up in 1 year. Uncle Sam is going to ask for some of his money back. That's all I got to say. So it's going to work out regardless. And people are saying, well, how are they going to say what's going to happen with your financial aid? It's going to happen with your financial aid. It's going to happen with all of that, because you no longer need it. If you're making $100,000 in a year off of endorsements, you no longer need the financial aid. They're going to start.
You're no longer a student athlete. You're a pro athlete.
You're a pro athlete. Yeah, you're a professional. So you got to pay money on taxes.
So you're no longer a student athlete. You're a pro athlete.
Believe me, it's going to work out for everybody, including the governments and including all these NCAA restrictions. It's all going to come out in the wash. Everybody will get paid. Let's just say it like that.
Okay. And see, there's the problem I have. These people are 18 years old, straight out of the house from home. People will be taking advantage of these schools.
So that's the other thing. It's weird because all the schools have different rules. Some of them say that it's regulated by the school. Some of them say we don't want anything to do with it. Some of them say you have to show us the contracts if it's over $500. There's no rule. That doesn't make any sense.
This is going to be fun. Yeah, there's no rules.
It's literally you can do whatever. The only thing you can't do, I think, is just like obviously like the alcohol and like weed and stuff. Like you can't do.
But can they? If they're over 21, they can't do an alcohol brand.
It depends on the state. I think.
Probably not. And let me just say this. Wait till the schools start wanting a piece of it if you want to use the jersey and stuff. Because the schools will be like, oh, you want to use our jersey? Because if it's TikTok, it's your own stuff is cool. But if you want to be like, we want your kids and have the jersey on, they'll be like, all right, well, every time you show your jersey, we get a 2% cut.
Yeah, you can't do that anyways. You can't.
You can't.
You can't show any of the jerseys. So you can't say even school.
You can wear your school's colors. I mean, even in professional, like sometimes if you watch the commercials with professional teams, they take the logos off. They make it look like the team colors, and then that's where they go from there. But Cole, to your point, the universities are probably plotting right now. How can they get in on this action? How can they broker some of these deals and get paid an agency fee type,
Yeah.
you know, that 10% that goes to whoever, the finder's fee, that 10 to 20%. And listen, let me just give a PSA right now out to the college athletes. There's certain percentages, know what's normal, know what's not, because to Snook's point, don't just let people out here take advantage of you. There's certain things that are normal, whether you're a college athlete or you're a professional athlete. If somebody is an agent and they're talking about they want to split 50-50 with you on any deal, they are not a good agent for you. 20% is about as high as you should go on any type of finder's fee, agency fee type of things. That's as high as you should go. But just know what's going on. Like, do a little research, because a brand apparel deal, while it's great, but if they're not giving you any money, here's another little tax thing. If they give you $10,000 in product, that you get taxed on that $10,000 in product, even though it's not cash money. That's just, again, this is just a fair warning from somebody that has to pay taxes already, baby. Okay, just throwing that out there. I mean, it's all funny. Yeah, this is adulting. Like, basically on July 1st, everybody became an adult, and you have to figure out adult things, taxes, agency fees, finder's fees. Business is messy sometimes. Family members are going to be wanting to get their hand in your pocket. So get ready is all I'm saying. Get ready.
You know why the brands love it?
Please read the small print.
Read the fine print.
So you know why
Read
the brands love it, because say you could sponsor the whole team for $1 million, but you could get the quarterback for $20K.
Yeah. You
And that's
see,
it.
that's tough, because if you're trying to do a deal with the actual team, they gonna make you pay a bag. Like, they're not gonna just let you do that. But then you're like, all right, forget it. I'm gonna just get the star player. Let's pay them 100,000. Well, you got a deal. I mean, that's a deal. So listen, I mean, it's going to be fun. There's going to be a lot happening. And speaking of fun and a lot happening, for happening IRL this week, we have Kimbo Slice Jr. And Kimbo Slice Jr., if you don't know, his dad is Kimbo Slice. No shocker alert there. The guy that was knocking people out left and right. And his son is following in his footsteps. He's a fighter for Bellator MMA. A lot of people know his name. He also was our celebrity guest. He played against in our NBA 2K tournament. And when I say our, I mean the Renee Montgomery Foundation. So we try to do some things in tech. Kimbo Slice Jr. came through to play a little game. Check it out.
And happening IRL this week, we have Kimbo Slice Jr. Now, his name speaks for itself, but we're going to have him tell us a little bit about himself.
What's up, everybody? You know, it's Kimbo Jr. here. You know, I'm a pro MMA fighter / businessman, and I'm just here to, you know, have fun and, you know, see what's going on with the women that's playing basketball. You know, much respect, you know, to you guys, and maybe one day I could play, you know, a game against y'all or something. I don't know. Let's see.
Bet we're definitely going to be there for that. I want to see that one. So yeah, we definitely can take you up on that. If you're in the A one time, we can see about that. So next, so basically, like, how did you get into fighting? Like, what started you in your fighting?
To be honest, I'm just gonna be honest. It started. I was not saying a street fighter, but it was like fights on the streets. You know, I didn't know I had power back then, so I was like 13, 14. Hitting people pretty hard, and I realized as I got older, my dad used to tell me, you know, you can't keep fighting on the streets like this, hurting people. You know, you can get away with it now because you're young, but as you get older, you might have to like go professional or take it to the next level. And that's pretty much what I did, you know, which he didn't want me fighting. So I went to college first, but then, and then became a fighter after.
Good advice, Dad. Good advice, Dad. I agree. So your father is Kimbo Slice, and he is a legend. So why is it important for you to carry on your father's legacy?
I think that's very important because I'm his oldest son, you know, and how it goes back in like the Roman days and the gladiator days, the oldest son takes everything after the father passes away or leave, you know, it goes to the oldest son. And I feel like it's only right, you know, I've been around him like the majority of my life. He taught me everything I knew. So not
absolutely, I agree. So yeah, so you know, I know you say that your father told you can't fight, you had to go to school, you said you went to college first, so you're a businessman, you said you're a businessman too, so tell us about some of your business ventures.
I can't really talk about them too much yet, but I could give you guys like the first scoop on like joining the business if you guys want to, because it's going to be like, pretty crazy. But I'm invested in stocks, and I don't know if you guys like stocks and cryptocurrency, but that's like my thing, making your money work for itself, while you're sleeping, you're making money in your sleep. So that's like my thing and what I like to do.
No spoiler alert. No spoiler alert. Yeah, crypto. Yeah, we have had some really deep discussions about crypto. Some of us are on the fence, some of us are all in, but congratulations on your business. And we I understand not wanting to do the spoiler alert. So we'll
I don't want to be just a fighter. I don't want people to know me as like, oh, he's just a fighter. He's just a fighter. Like, I'm not just a fighter. I have brains as well, and I want to use that and also use my physical ability to do both and everything together. And yeah, I'm still learning as I go on.
I can respect that. So you're signed to Bellator MMA, if I said that right. And you mentioned that you wanted to you want to do some bare knuckle boxing. Would you do a regular boxing too? Would you do both? Like, are you interested?
I'm a fighter at heart. And when I started, it was just with these right here. It wasn't no gloves and all that protection, you know what I'm saying? So when I hit somebody, I like to feel that. I know it sounds crazy, I'm talking to a woman and stuff. And I'm nice. I have a wife, and I could be a lover boy as well, but I love fighting, and I like to hit people, you know what I mean? I know it sounds crazy, but that's just my thing. And I grew up in it. Like, that's all not saying that's all I know, but like, that's what I know, so it's
not crazy. It's not crazy because my father was a boxer. He was a boxer, so and he taught us how to handle ourselves as as well. So it's not crazy at all. I don't think you're just talking to a female that I think is barbaric. My father was a boxer. He's 13 boxing 20-year-olds. That's the type of power he had too. So I understand what you're saying on that level. It was just in you. That's something you're good at and you do. That's great. So no, believe me, I agree. So how do you feel about these celebrities versus pros? Like, are you a fan, not a fan? You like money, not money?
It's like 50-50, because I understand that so the game is crazy. It's not about how good you can fight no more. It's about how many tickets can you sell or how many followers you got. And I understand that they're making a lot of money because they have a lot of following already. So as far as the business side, I get it. But as far as like me being a real fighter, it's like, come on, guys, like, but I can't be mad at them because it's entertaining. So
it's entertainment, money.
So
I agree with you on that. Because I feel like watering down the sport.
Right,
it's like not making the sport really a sport. It's more like I mean,
if they offer me $1 million to fight a celebrity to go have fun, that's not a real fight to me because I know this guy can't do nothing with me. And y'all offer me this much money to a fake fight, I'll take that all day.
I'm gonna take that money and run. I know if they're gonna hand it to you, you're gonna take it, right?
Of course, I have to.
Right. So we also know, is because you did this gaming that you're a big gamer, and we appreciate you playing against, in the tournament for the foundation. That was
last minute. Got to put last minute. I don't want people thinking like, oh, he not a gamer.
Full disclosure, last minute.
Literally like 24 hours. I didn't even have 2K downloaded on my PS5. So it's all good though. Take nothing away from A Grade. He did his thing, but it was last minute,
Yes, and we do appreciate that because that was stepping out your comfort zone of what you normally do.
Now he has to play me in UFC now.
Okay. So you need to come back and he need to get you on your side. On your side. Oh, okay, I got you. I understand that. So, what games are you into now? Other, like you said, the MMA. What other games are you playing?
I pretty much have them all, man. I have Call of Duty, Madden, 2K, Hitman. I got PS5, Xbox. Like I have it all. I'm a real gamer.
Okay, so which one do you prefer, PlayStation or Xbox?
Ooh, that's so tough because I grew up in the Xbox world, but PlayStation graphics is just a little different, man. There's something about them graphics that's just a little more crispier than Xbox. So I can't pick a side because I play both still. So I love them both, honestly.
I've heard that my sons were Xboxers and now they're like, got to get into, the PlayStation.
I play the PlayStation a little more.
A little more than Xbox. Okay, respectable. I understand that. So just, overall, like we just going through your favorite things. I heard you cook a lot. I just, somebody told me that you love to cook.
Yeah, cooking is my favorite thing. I'm actually from the Bahamas, so I have that out inside of me come out a lot when I'm in the kitchen, and I really love cooking. And it's like pretty easy to me. It's not like I'm trying to do it. I just what I think, and it comes out good. Not everything comes out good, but majority of the time it's pretty good. And then I'm a photographer as well.
Oh, so first, before we get to photography, what is your favorite meal that you've cooked, or what is your favorite meal to cook, I should say?
It would have to be like maybe like a nice steak, but it used to be steak, but then I cut all the meat out right now, and it's all like veggies and all the greens. But my favorite meal would be like to cook for someone. It would be like a steak, mashed potatoes, asparagus, and like a nice roll.
Yes,
Yeah.
steak and potatoes.
You can't go wrong with that.
You can never go wrong with that. So yeah, and so I know that your dad is your favorite fighter, and that's hands down. But who's your next favorite fighter? Like, who would you like to see fight, or have you seen fight that grabbed you? Like, yeah, he's the man.
I grew up watching Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. So it would have to be Floyd Mayweather, honestly speaking, and then Roy Jones after that. And that's just boxing. MMA is John Jones.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask you who MMA, but you already told us. Yeah, I can respect that because Mayweather, like you said, he's taking the money. He was the man. He still is the man, basically. I don't think there's still anybody who can go out there and cut hands with him and do what he do. So I agree with you on that. So is there anything else that you want to tell us, or anything that other than your business ventures that we got a little spoiler alert about that you have out there that you can share with us?
No, that's about it. My favorite basketball player is LeBron James, since he was 18, jumping over like 5 kids on the floor. I was in like middle school and I saw that and I was like, yo, this kid is amazing. And I was a fan ever since. So wherever LeBron goes, that's my team.
I feel you on that. So I'm going to ask you a question. You better answer it right. Who's your favorite female basketball player?
Oh, Renee Montgomery, hands down.
There you go. You got it right. Right.
And
well, thank you.
I think they should get paid more too, right? Like I don't like that salary thing. Like I feel like women are very powerful, and if they going out there doing the same thing a man is doing, like they should get paid equal amount or something at least close to that. I saw that and I kind of wanted to like put that out there, like pay these women and let's get them paid and stop playing around.
We appreciate that, and I thank you for saying that because that is, that is a big thing as far as women's basketball, is that we're required to do the same things, but not the same pay. So we appreciate your voice on that. And we appreciate anyone who supports that. And we want to thank you for being with us today on Remotely Renee. And
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, so shouts to Kimbo Slice Jr. for coming through and showing love to the kids and playing. And speaking of showing love to the kids, Buzzer is on to something. As we all know, this Gen Z group, I have a son, he's 13. He watches YouTube all the time. YouTube, if you ask him what his favorite channel is, it will be YouTube. He doesn't watch linear TV like we used to watch linear TV. And Buzzer understands that. Buzzer's a platform that sells short form live TV. So if you don't have a live TV subscription and you see that it's a 2-point game in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Hawks are about to clinch, and you want to watch the last 2 minutes of it, you can go on Buzzer and literally buy the last 2 minutes of that game. And so they're smart because we have a commitment problem these days. People don't like to commit to long-term contracts. People don't like to commit to long-term relationships. And Buzzer came up with a solution for that. When I heard about what Buzzer was doing, you know how I am. I want in. And so actually Buzzer had reached out to us. And what I love about what they're doing as well is they wanted their investment group to be diverse. They wanted to be culturally aware. They wanted to invest in the community and different things they're doing. Let me just tell you a couple of the investors investing in Buzzer. Naomi Osaka, shouts to her, leading the way, doing her thing, her way. Patrick Mahomes, I know you've heard of this guy. I would say the tie up there for one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Michael Jordan. Does that name ring a bell? A little Michael Jordan action. I mean, we had Taylor Rooks was in there. There were so many other people on VP. I know I'm missing a large amount of them. Shouts to Bohan too, by the way. He's the founder of Buzzer. Such a good guy. When I talked to him, of course, he has a banging business. It was 20 million raised on the Series A round. They got money. A lot of people got a lot of money. I ain't those people. I'm broke. Don't ask me for nothing else. Okay, I'm done. But it's just crazy to see what's going on with. Would you have ever thought that you could just pay for 2 minutes of a game and then watch it live? I mean, that's such a crazy concept.
Yeah, but I mean, that tells you our attention span is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. We have no patience, and it shows in everything that we every turn and everything. It's like no one has any patience, no patience whatsoever. We can't wait. My husband hates to watch a commercial. Will not watch the show, record the whole show so that he could fast forward through the entire show to what he wants to see and ups to the downs. So it makes sense. He would be a perfect buzzer person because he's going to be like, all right, what happened in the last 15 minutes of the movie? Like, he doesn't want to have all the backstory, the plot, the drama, the setting, none of that. He's like, okay, they said it was a good movie. What happened? He feels like what happened in the last 15 minutes, it sums up the whole entire movie. So he would be a perfect buzzer person.
It's funny too, because Serena, she doesn't like commercials either. So, Hulu and them have spoiled us where you can pay for the subscription of, no ads. So you can watch a whole season of something in 7 hours and run through it. You're onto something, Cole. You're onto something.
Yeah, I don't even watch games like that. So I do usually only put on the last quarter or something like that.
Oh my gosh, this blows my mind. VP doesn't watch games a lot, and that just makes my mind explode every time I hear it.
I don't even need to. I still know what's going on.
Yeah, I believe it.
I only watch boxing pretty much. But let's not forget some of the other names. You got Wayne Gretzky, J. Cole, LaMelo Ball, DeAndre Hopkins.
Wow.
Austin Matthews, NFT inspired. Christian McCaffrey. Devin Booker too in the finals.
Oh, shouts to D Book. Hopefully we meet him in the finals. That would be lit.
Snook, what do you think about it?
Well, I'm an old head. I'm the old head on the show. And so after 60 years, it's hard to, for you to change. So I'll check it out. I'm getting a little bit more tech savvy, a little bit more into what the kids do, because I have grandkids who come here, and my granddaughter will sit on the couch all day long, never look at the TV. She'll have it on, but she'll be on her phone watching things. And now everything is so fast paced that now I find myself going and doing some of those Gen Z type activities about,
like what? What's some Gen Z type activities?
Where you go on YouTube. Shayla's always showing me stuff. Did you see this, Gigi? And she'll show it to me. What was I something like that at? So she shows me a lot of stuff on there. Some of it I don't think I need to see, but she wants me to see. So I look at it just to try to keep up. And but I'm still linear. I like, watching TV shows or whatever. As most of the people on here know, I'm a big fan of like 911 and, and all of that.
Shows and
the only thing that I can say linear that I've gotten rid of is soap operas. I used to be a big soap opera fan.
The Young and the Restless, boy, Cole. How many times did we come home and Snooka Booka is on? I feel like the show never ended. I think it might be still going. Oh, it never ends. It's like a telenovela. What is it called? A telenovela? Yeah. Telenovela. I had to ask Serena, our expert. It's like those shows, they just never end. And Snook, I'm telling you, she'd be like, that Victor, that like she would be like, she talked about these people like she knew them.
Big Daddy
Vic, I tell you.
Those are the worst shows.
This crazy thing. I first started watching The Young and the Restless with my grandmother back in when it first aired, the first show that ever came on, The Young and the Restless.
So they were going out then too? Jeez.
I watched my grandmother and watched it for years.
Let me tell you something.
Wait. Do the people just die and then they just make them the same names?
No, yeah. First of all, Miss Chandler, who was on there probably in 1978. Miss Chancellor, I'm sorry. She passed away like 1999 or something. She was around to like on the show until like
you have a whole career, like your whole acting career could consist of you playing in The Young and the Restless. I know that they kill people on the show and bring them back or stuff. Like,
Oh
it's like,
yeah,
oh, we thought they were missing and
they
now
didn't
they're
lose
back. I
their
remember one time
families.
somebody was missing for 20 years or something, and here they come back on the show.
And then let me tell you, they went 20 years, and in their 20 years of being missing, they had a whole other family. They got kids. They bring the family and the kids on the show. Like, oh, I was away. I was kidnapped by so and so. It was crazy. And then
Yeah, what in the overboard is going on? Their stuff be so unrealistic. The only thing I can equate to it right now is Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy was that type of show where even if you were killed off the show, you come back as a ghost, baby, and you could be dating the ghost. I don't know. I saw that like Izzy or whatever her name was, she's baking stuff, and then all of a sudden her like he's back. The last episode, they're on a beach. I don't know. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but I guess there's still versions of Empire might be a version of it, but those shows went so long that
and, and,
yeah.
and to the point, they had more patience than
Yeah,
we had, because
exactly.
we even if you think about patience and stuff like that, there's no way we would watch all that. People would just wait till it's all over and then binge watch it. Like you said, no ads,
Yep.
no nothing, and watch it. So again, Buzzer got smart, because let's just say you want to see the entire sum up in the last show of Game of Thrones. You could buy the last like episode, or the last like half of the episode where they killed
Yep.
so and so. So Buzzer had it right.
Okay, so moving on, Snooker Booker. We're talking about things that you would have never thought that you would have seen. Somebody buying 30 seconds of the Hawks championship run, like things we would have never thought that we'd have seen. Would you have thought that you would have saw a job where you could be the coach and GM of a gaming team, like your actual occupation?
You got to be kidding me. That is just too much. I guess, as I said, the world is moving on, and that is just that's above my pay grade, I should say.
Oh my gosh. Well, Snook, that's exactly what our next remotely one-on-one guest job is. OG King Kurt is the head coach, and he's also the GM of Nets Gaming. What is Nets Gaming? Well, Brooklyn Nets, as well as all the other NBA teams, they also have NBA 2K gaming teams, and that team is called Nets Gaming. So Nets Gaming, shouts to them. We was talking about the Renee Montgomery Foundation's NBA 2K tournament. Nets Gaming sponsored it, so thank you to Nets Gaming. Shouts to the homie OG King Kurt. Done a lot of stuff with him. Such a good guy. Had a little talk with him. Check it out. Okay, so OG, listen, I'm just going to start out by saying I love how you support women's sports, women's everything. Like I have a shirt that says more female, Black, Latinx, indigenous, like more voices. And you are one of those people that have supported since day one. But we're going to talk about you a little bit, because I saw that you were on an NBA 2K all girls, like you were one of the counselors for that. So can you just talk about, being a dad, why it's important to empower women? Let's just start there.
Yes, I mean, most importantly, I've been a part of the Women in Gaming Development Camp for the NBA 2K League for 2 years now, and I think it's a lane that we didn't cover as I was helping build out the landscape for 2K and how this came about. So I think it's important that we recognize all gamers, and I mean women in particular. I mean, I think something that's been important to me, and it was said by Ariel Powers, is like, gaming, it shouldn't be segregated. I mean, you have, it's not like traditional sports where you have to be a certain metric or anything like that. I mean, if you can play the game, you can play the game, and I think it's something that I've grown uh, a part of, and want to be as impactful as I can. I mean, with that being said, I think with me being a general manager and coach for the 2K League, I still have a responsibility to make sure that every player is qualified and competing, at a high level to truly embrace the opportunity of being a part of the league. But something that I don't hardly talk about is, I have a daughter.
Yeah.
She games.
That's why I was asking about it. You're a girl dad. Yeah.
Yeah. So and not only that, I mean, she played college basketball, D2 level, and got her college degree. I mean, and now, I mean, when she's not working, she's always on the game. So it's pretty dear to me. I mean, now that I'm a part of professional gaming and she games as well. Just sports has always been a big thing in our household. So I was one of those dads that I didn't miss a game. I probably only missed out of the thousands and thousands of games that she played. I probably only missed like 5.
That's
And
great.
and it's
And
just
she knows
important.
that. I'm sure she recognizes that you made a point to be there.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I was tough on her, but I told her, I said, you know, a lot of people are gonna judge me for how tough I am on you, but they're gonna reap the benefits when you out there hooping.
Yeah.
So she listened to me, and it paid dividends for her. And I'm proud of her. And and now even more when I see her on the game, it really makes me it feel a certain kind of way. She plays more Fortnite than 2K, but still
Okay.
just the
Oh
fact
gosh,
that we
that's
have
my
some.
son too. That Fortnite is just taking over. But you know, it's interesting because you're a dad that's in the professional gaming space. Normally parents are like, stop playing them video games. But can you just talk about your viewpoint on it? Because like you've made a career out of it now.
Yeah, I think actually when I first came into the space, that was something that I was kind of attacked about a little bit because I come from the traditional sports background where I coached basketball for over 20 years. And so I already had an initial relationship with a lot of parents. And when they seen that, they was like, oh man, like now I can't even tell the kids to get off the game because, you know, it can become a career. And I think we have to be more open minded. Like I tell all parents, I don't back down from education or anything like that. I mean, I still encourage that, but be open minded to a lot of different lanes that's out here for your child to succeed. Even beyond just gaming itself, you know, influencers, YouTubers, streamers, different things of that nature. I mean, you know, kids are making a living now. I
A
mean,
killer, not a living, a
yeah,
killing right now.
I was just about to say that. So it's like you want to be open minded, but you still want to have that core foundation set for how you want your child's future to be.
No, and you hit on something because yeah, it's we our generation, I think we look at video games as literally just a hobby, but you're a testament that it's a profession now. Can you talk about like you were in traditional sports for 20 years, former athlete turned coach. Can you just talk about like how did you even get into gaming? Like how did that start?
Funny thing, I'm obviously, you know, I'm in my early 40s. I've been around since 2K before it had numbers behind it. So um, I was in the military. Funny thing, I was in the military from 1997 to 2001, United States Navy. 2K came out in 99. At this point, you know, kind of just playing 1v1, excited the fact that the NBA had a game that was being modeled through video games. So till 2014 where they really started picking up the pace, where you can create your own player, give it certain attributes and different things of that nature. And then not only that, you can go out and compete with other 4 players just like it. So in 2K15, they had the Jordan Rec Center. And basically, you could go in there and compete as an individual, just like open runs, or you can go in there with 5 and you can meet up against another 5 and go at it.
Okay.
So I started to hear little things about leagues going on and being formulated. So I got into a few, stumbled across my dear best friend that to this day, Tawan Fairley. We started playing together, and then one day out the blue, he said, "Kurt, I think I can do a league better than all the leagues." And I'm like, "Okay." I said,
Right.
"What you like? What do you want to call it?" He said the NPBA. I said, what that stand for? He said My Player Basketball Association. I'm like, man, you know, if that's what you want to do, I'm with it. Fast forward to a couple years later, we had one of the hottest leagues in the world, and
So y'all
2000.
was running your own league, like a whole league.
Yes, we pretty much emulated the NBA. We had conferences, statistical categories, awards, and everything.
Crazy.
2017, Take Two Interactive and the NBA announced that they were coming together for a 50-50 partnership to create the NBA 2K League. And we were excited, but we didn't really know like how we would fit in or anything. But one thing we knew is that our presence was kind of felt. I mean, I had been reached
So
out
the
to by
NBA
some.
2K League actually reached out to you guys. Wow.
Yes. So it was kind of like just like a mutual, like just meet and greet type thing. And we didn't know how we were going to be a part of it. Actually, the first team that reached out to us was the Bucks GG, which is the Milwaukee Bucks affiliate. And we kind of came on and served as draft analysts for them. Had a limited role during the season, but it kind of got our foot in the door where people recognized our hard work and everything that we had put into it before the league was actually came into existence. So the following year, that's when things took off for me. I was reached out to from the Brooklyn BSE Global, Joshua Prush, who at the time oversaw Nets GC. He reached out. I'll never forget because at this point I was a manager for a group home. It was 6:30 in the morning. Email shot across my iPad. Opened it up and read it. Basically, was saying that he was told that he should need to reach out to me. We got on a phone call later at 9 a.m. He said it was one of the best conversations that he had had with any candidate.
Okay, OG.
Now, mind you, at this time, I didn't even know I was getting interviewed. Like I was just thinking, I didn't know what to think. I was excited, but I didn't know what to think. And fast forward a couple of weeks later, I was brought on as a special advisor to help them build out the team. And then 2 weeks later, I was announced the GM and head coach. And
That's crazy.
then
So
my
so that
partner,
people understand the NBA has a whole league, like so affiliates. It's like the same way if you would think the NBA G League has affiliates to the NBA team. The gaming crew has that's what GC has affiliates to the NBA team. So this is like a licensed pretty much league running through the NBA that's just gaming. Just so everyone understands, because everybody's not hip to what's going on. So you basically got a GM head coaching job for like a legitimized league run by the NBA, and this is the Brooklyn Nets team reaching out to you. Like, I'm just making sure I got this all right.
that is correct. As except we go under the name Nets Gaming Crew.
Nets
But
Gaming
yes,
Crew. Okay, Nets Gaming Crew, Nets GC. So then you get the job, right? Again, did you ever think that when y'all were building out the MPA or MBPBA, did y'all ever think that you were going to be able to do this like on this scale? Like, was it just, did you see it as a hobby basically before you became a GM, or did you always see that this has money potential in it?
no, we didn't. It's crazy. Every day I wake up now, and every night I go to sleep. I mean, it's a surreal feeling. I have a job to do, but it's one of the best careers like you could possibly have. No, we didn't think anything about it. We was just doing it simply off the love of the game. I mean, that truly defines what we were doing. It was just out of the love. Now, mind you, I caught a lot of grief when I was doing this because I'm in my mid 30s at the time, and I'm still working, handling my business, as a father, man, husband, and everything like that. But in my free time, I was always on the game,
Yeah.
like or always operating and running things. Sometimes I wasn't on the game actually playing. I was just making sure tournaments and leagues was running smooth and things like that. But no, it's this is something that I don't know. Like I could have never thought, and it doesn't allow me to just to have the experience so many things that I never would have experienced. I like meeting somebody like you and build relationships and Mama Snook and everything like that.
They
So
just left this morning.
yeah, so I mean, it's allowed a lot of great opportunities for me, and not only for me, but my kids and everybody who's surrounded by me. So I'm truly grateful.
So yeah, shouts to my guy OG King Kurt. Keep doing what you're doing, my brother. You're killing it. And speaking of people, like OG King Kurt, he's what you would consider an ally. Like every time you do something, he's watching it, he's supporting it, he's tweeting about it. And the WNBA basically was trying to create allies in the WNBA where we call them the change makers partnerships. And what that means is the change maker platform is designed to provide direct support to the WNBA on its own in its ongoing business transformation across marketing. So there's been some big names that were added to the change makers. There was Google, Deloitte, there was AT&T as a change maker, and now we just saw a monster deal with the Phoenix Mercury. VP, tell us about that.
Yeah, so $66 million over 15 years. So it comes out to about $4.8 million per year. So yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm curious to see like what happens from here and what other deals happen in women's sports.
Yeah, so what he's saying is Bally. So the company is Bally's Corp, and Bally's Corp is a betting company. They have a gazillion casinos all over the place. They just recently bought Fox Sports South in my area, so it's Bally Sports South, Bally Sports Southeast. Bally is taking over, and they're I don't know if they're necessarily in that change makers group, but that's the largest deal that's ever been made in WNBA history. I mean, $66 million. This is something
Women's
different.
sports history.
Women's sports, not just WNBA,
Yeah.
women's sports history. So all of women's sports. I think that this is huge for so many reasons because this sets the tone now. We weren't seeing no $66 million deals before. This is different. This is new. Like this is groundbreaking what's happening.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that that's a change maker right there. That's a change maker right there. Because you talking about if they're coming out of the pocket and say, hey, we invest in women's sports and we're gonna do this, we're committing to this. Love to see what it's gonna all go to. I want to make sure that if it's gonna make some change, it's gonna be good for all parties involved. It's not going to just be, something for the owners but just want to make sure it's going to be, something for everyone as far as women's sports. It's not going to just be, the okey doke.
And look, let me read something real quick. So, as a WNBA change maker, I'm talking about Google now because Google was named a new WNBA change maker and presenting partner of the WNBA on ESPN as part of a multi-year agreement. And as a WNBA change maker, Google commits to helping women's basketball and sports by developing innovative marketing activations, robust storytelling, and enhanced Google product experiences. So, as part of the partnership, Google collaborates with ESPN and WNBA to deliver 25 for 25, which is 25 regular season games on ESPN networks for the 25th season. So y'all see that the money might be going directly to getting more games on TV accessibility. It just changes with each partnership. I know AT&T has one that Sue Bird was just featured in where they want to make sure that players can express themselves their way. We changed marketing, we pivoted in marketing when it came to how we presented the players because before it used to be players were only presented a certain way, and it would be even if you didn't want to wear crop tops and bell bottoms, oh baby, you was going to be in some crop tops and bell bottoms because that's just how the WNBA was branding. So it was different things about different ways. And so I just to give you an idea, I wanted to show you guys like how the deals could come about.
Well, I like the fact that they're going to do it in different ways. Like each company is going to make it their own, have more shows on TV. Right. Have, if that's how it's going to go, everybody's got to do it their own way. I agree with that. I love the premise of making it your own because as we've seen, like you say, nobody wants the cookie cutter and there's individuality, and in women's sports, it was less individuality. They wanted everyone
definitely
way. So I do like that they're trying to do it in their own way. Like no company wants to be the same. That actually is good because it spreads evenly. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's great. Anything to grow women's sports because, as I said, it's been a long, hard road trying to get to where we are today. And we are a lot better off than we were in the past when it first started. I was just looking, ABC did a thing on the Queen of Basketball, Lucia Harris Stewart. I had an opportunity to meet Lucia Harris, and actually she spent the night at my house way back when she was first out of Mississippi State. And, it was hard, and she actually had to have help to be able to live. She had some issues or whatever, and no one was putting anything into women's sports or whatever. So look, from back then to now is a lot better, but just compare women's sports to men's sports. We still have a long way to go to make women as equal as they can be in the playing field as men.
Yeah, I mean, even I think that 4.8 million is obviously a lot, but like NBA patches, I believe started when they first started maybe a few years ago. They were like 10 million. So
explain what patches are.
Like the jersey logos. And actually, when looking at the Mercury, they already have like 3 big names because they have. I mean, obviously, I think everyone has Verizon, but they have PayPal, and then they have Fry's Food, and I'm assuming that's big out there. So like to have PayPal and Bally Sports now, that's pretty big.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Listen, I'm going to say this right here on this platform. Delta, what's good? Delta, we are in your backyard, the Atlanta Dream. Delta is, I love everything about what Delta is doing when it comes to equality, equity, inclusion, DEI, all of it, diversity, all of it. Like, I love what they're doing. So I want y'all to do it with the Atlanta Dream. We're one of those, I feel like the Atlanta Dream, we have such this sweet spot where sports, so you get that sports feel, you want to be a part of a sports team, you got that, but we're also in that intersection of sports, activism, community. So companies that want to do something for the community, companies that want to invest in women, companies that want to be a part of the change, holla at us, the Atlanta Dream. We want those $1 million deals too. And this is another thing about those deals and about those patches. Paul kind of hit on it. In the NBA, their little patches are so small. With the WNBA, we have full on branding that we can do. Our sponsorship can go a lot of ways. I'm just trying to say, do it for the dream. I can envision it now. Delta is the official airline for the Hawks. So why can't Delta be the official airline for the Atlanta Dream? I'm applying pressure right now because Delta, I think you need that pressure. Maybe you don't know. So Delta, do it for the dream. That's all I'm saying. Not even just Delta, a lot of these brands, even here in the city of Atlanta, we see companies that sponsor every other pro sports team in Atlanta, but the Atlanta Dream. They're the same. They sponsor the Hawks. They sponsor United. They sponsor the Braves. And we love to see it. I want you to sponsor the Hawks, the Braves, United, but I want the Atlanta Dream added to that lineup. So I'm done ranting. That's my 2-piece. Oh, and by the way, when I say do it for the dream, that's also our hashtag, but that's why it's our hashtag. When we say do it for the dream, the American dream, your dream, our dream, I want all the dreams to come together. And if you're a company, a brand, the Fortune 500 companies that are throwing money all over the place, do it for the dream, baby. And now, Snooka Booka, I want you to do it for the dream. Tell us where you're taking us for Remote Roost. What do you have for us this week?
Okay, I'd like for you all to guess where I'm taking you. I'm taking you on a tour for this episode of Roots. So let me just play this for you and see if you can guess you.
What?
Thanksgiving?
Oh, you're taking us to, are you taking us to a location? I like how you turned up on us real quick. Where are you taking us? Paul said Thanksgiving. I'm guessing to church.
No, I'm taking you to Charleston's Capital Market. It's the farmers market for Charleston, West Virginia. And I went there to buy all of the things I needed, the perishables I needed for our 4th of July celebration. So most communities have a farmers market. I'm sure you have one there in Baltimore, correct, Nicole?
Absolutely.
Look, I've been to the one in Georgia. It is absolutely fantastic. What about Connecticut, Paul? Y'all got a farmer's market up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Paul is not concerned. But anyway, Paul is not interested. Maybe he doesn't do his own cooking, but anyone who eats food, and I'm sure most of us still do that, we're not in those, what do you call that? Fake food they have now or whatever. Okay. Well, I'll be over for dinner tomorrow. If you want good fresh food, so the farmers market has meat, seafood, and the best vegetables ever. You know, you want fresh food, you want non-GMO products or whatever, you should go to your farmers market. So get ready for this tour. Here we go. Today, I'm taking the Two-Lit crew on a tour of one of Charleston's favorite attractions, the Capital Market. Now, unlike Gilligan's Island's 3-hour tour, this one will only take a few minutes. The Capital Market was originally a rail yard built in the late 1800s that had seen its better days by the late 1900s. In 1997, it was converted into the great area that it is today. Now, this is the entrance to the indoor portion of the Capital Market. But since it's such a beautiful day, I'm taking the crew outside to begin the tour. As you can see, the outdoor portion is under a canopy that stretches from one end of the market to the other. It provides protection for shoppers during inclement weather or wet weather so that shopping can continue. The market on the outside has all types of vegetables, fresh grown in West Virginia, flowers galore, and vegetable plants, herbs, etc. You can find almost anything you want to plant or eat here at the farmers market. Now, the best thing about the Capital Market is that all of the items here are either grown or produced by West Virginians. They proudly display the names of their farms or businesses and also where they're from in the state. One of my favorite vendors is Bostic Greenhouse from Kenner, West Virginia. I have bought the plants for my vegetable garden here for the past 10 years, and they are always healthy and produce very well. Here, the owner, Kimmy Bostic, you'll see him seated here, always gives me a great deal. That's why I am a return customer. He also has a twin brother who has a stand here. I also come here and buy a lot of the herbs that I grow for my cooking. I love to use fresh herbs in cooking, and they have the best variety here at the market. You can also find items for the outdoors like bird houses, garden decorations, etc. here at the Capital Market. Okay, Two-Lit crew, are you ready to go inside? So at this end of the market, you'll see there's Soho's Restaurant, one of the popular restaurants in the city of Charleston. During COVID, they built this outside area so people would be able to eat comfortably during the COVID restrictions. When you enter the market from the Soho end, you'll see that there's a marketplace that sells things that are made in West Virginia. The indoor portion is like a large aisle that you can travel down. One of the first places that you'll pass is Johnny's Meat Market. This is where I come to buy most of the meat that I use. You'll see that ground round there. I use it to make my burger dogs. I'll have to tell you about my burger dogs in another episode. We have a visitor center, a sushi bar. I know Renee would love the sushi bar. We also have a coffee bar, a wine shop, and a seafood market. So, as you can see, you can buy almost anything you need that is perishable here at the Capital Market. At the furthest end of the indoor portion of the Capital Market is the Purple Onion. It is the vegetable and fruit market that is open year-round. You heard me, year-round. Even in the winter months, when it's hard to find great vegetables at the local grocers, you can find them here at the Purple Onion. You name it, greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, they've got it all. In addition to all of the great fruits and vegetables that they have in season and out, the Purple Onion also has a wide selection and variety of spices and herbs for any cuisine. They also have jams, jellies, just about anything you would need to cook from scratch. So, you know how it is when you talk a lot about food and seafood, you want food. So I'm going to grab the Two-Lit crew here, and I think I'll grab some stuff and we'll go throw some stuff on the grill.
Okay, greens, beans, tomatoes, chicken, you name it. Listen, Snooker Booker, while she took us to the Capital City Market, which I've been there, it does have a lot of dope stuff in there. Snooker Booker got her own market at the house in her garden. My goodness, Snooker Booker really does have tomatoes, greens, cucumbers,
you name it.
You name it. So Snooker Booker, thank you for taking us to Capital City Market, and thank you for all that deliciousness. I'll be over next tomorrow. What is it tomorrow? I'll be over for dinner tomorrow too, VP. I guess since you can cook and all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
He's inviting us all to his house for dinner.
I've actually seen some of the stuff he creates. It's kind of he's creative. He needs to be on those like Chopped where you create like creative meals, because I don't know why, but I think I remember seeing him make some things where I'm like, yo, you made that? And he's like, yeah, TikTok. I can cook. And I'm like, oh, TikTok, that's what it was. On his TikTok, he was showing things he was doing. He made like a pizza, and didn't you write like PG, or what did you did different things with it?
I just made like a real pizza bagel.
Oh, a real pizza. See what I'm saying? A real pizza bagel.
when we went to this restaurant and we asked the guy, did he know about the Atlanta Dream? And he was like, nah. He was like, is that a soccer team? Is WNBA a soccer league?
Oh my God.
And then I said, could you name the other sports teams in Atlanta? He named all of them. He named all of them.
That's terrible. See,
And that's
terrible.
exactly why
terrible.
we need the buy-in. Because you know what the buy-in does? And I know we already went off of that, but I'm coming back. When you get that money, now you can market better. We can have billboards all over the city. If we were getting millions of dollars in sponsorship money, we would have our players plastered all over the city too. We're going to do that anyway. But it helps when somebody assists you in doing that and they help you market your players. If I'm just going to leave it there, but that's a hot mess, Atlanta. Do better. We're here now. The Atlanta Dream. We need more people at the games. We need more people to understand that we're a pro sports team too. Look, Lou Will, after our last game, when we didn't have Trae Young playing and everybody was talking to him like, hey, can you guys believe that you won the game without Trae Young? And he's like, we're professionals too. You know, we play basketball too. So I'm going to just use Lou Will's line. We're professionals too. We play basketballs too. And with that, I'm out of here. Thank y'all for joining us on another week of Remotely Renee, where we have fun. We chop it up. Our name, image, and likeness. Cash us out if you want to. Peace.